was buzzing with energy that day. Kids and their families filled the seats, hallways. It felt magical to me. Just before the show began, I needed to use the bathroom. Like any parent, wasn't worried about me. She simply said, "You know where they are. I'll see you in a minute." I confidently headed toward the foyer and the corridor leading to the bathrooms. That's when I saw him. A man I recognized instantly from TV, a household name. He was charismatic, loved, the kind of person people trusted implicitly. He was like a friendly uncle to the entire nation. And there he was, standing in the corridor, surrounded by a group of children. I mean, one you know from television. Stiff view. I ran toward him. He was talking to the children, telling them backstage to show them where his TV show was filmed. I was desperate to be a part of it. Enthusiastically, He looked at me, smiled, and said, "Ah, not this time, young man. This is just for the older children." And just like that, I was dismissed. My heart sank. I felt rejected, my little world shaken. I walked back to my seat with my head down, feeling embarrassed and unworthy. At the time, I couldn't have known how lucky I was. Decades later, in the late 2000s, the truth about him began to emerge. The charming, trusted face of family television turned out to be one of the most vile predators in history, Sir Jimmy Savile. When I learned about the horrifying things he did to children, including some who likely stood in that very group that day, I was overcome with a sickening realization. My stomach turned, and the grin hit me like a freight train, face to face with a monster. The idea that I could have been one of those children who went backstage with him. The thought was unbearable. I was only spared because I was too young to fit the profile of the victims he preferred. It was sheer a twist of fate that kept me safe. For over 2 decades, I had no idea how close I had come to being part of something unimaginable. I had brushed against evil itself, and only now could I comprehend how narrowly I had escaped. It still makes my skin crawl. The feeling of rejection I carried as a child now seems laughable compared to the alternative. What felt like a heartbreak then turned out to be the luckiest moment of my life. This wasn't just a near miss. It was a brush with something unspeakably dark. Looking back, I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for being spared, sorrow for the countless victims who weren't as lucky. And as I share this story with you now, I can only hope it serves as a reminder of how important it is to question, to stay vigilant, and to protect the most innocent among us. Because in this case, the world I thought was safe and kind had a monster hiding in plain sight. When I was 16, I had an experience that has stayed with me my entire life. Even now, decades later, I can still feel the fear and helplessness of that moment. It was 1957, a time when the world felt so different from today. People didn't discuss certain topics openly, and attitudes around behavior, especially what was seen as just boys being boys, were disturbingly casual. What happened to me that day was anything but casual, and it left a mark on me that I'll never forget. I remember it so clearly. It was late in the afternoon and I was walking home alone. The streets were quiet, and as I turned into a narrow alley that cut through to my neighborhood, I noticed 4 boys standing there. I recognized them from school. I even gave them a small smile, assuming they were just hanging out or up to some usual teenage mischief. But as I tried to pass, things took a frightening turn They surrounded me, blocking my way. And before I could say a word, they grabbed me and pulled me deeper into the alley. My heart as I realized this wasn't just a prank.